I also want to kind of create this information for people to understand about healing and that there's more to it. If people are just focusing on, oh, this virus and I need to change my food in order to change my health, they don't understand how healing works. They don't understand the depths of the way it's actually not the physical kind of stuff we're putting in, it's the internal stress responses that are happening. Epstein-Barr virus is actually symbolic of a lifetime of stress. And if you're looking at the virus just as the virus in isolation, it's not enough to heal. The thing is, what EBV has done is it's almost taken your trauma, your stress responses, it's used them against you. In the fact, when you were dealing with these things in your life, it used that opportunity to build up. So you actually have to look at like healing stress responses. I don't know if people understand how the brain actually works and how that stress response happens. It's in the mini course. It's in the mini course. I'll just say it again and again. But anyway, you know, our mind, our brain, it's the master control of everything. And people don't understand that even when they're stressed in their day-to-day life or a situation presents and they kind of have this stress emotional response, it's not actually a present time emotional stress response that's happening. What the brain does is it looks at the situation and it goes, hang on a minute, I'm going to search my database for what this situation represents, and I'm going to see how I need to respond. If you have a lot of unresolved trauma from the past, it will simply kind of attach it, it will look like that, and so you might be having this kind of stress response happen, and it's an automatic, it's like an unconscious process that happens, that we go into the stress response, and while I'm kind of stuck in that level of stress, again, my body can't even re-regulate. So when I heal Epstein-Barr virus, it's a whole like life transformation process and program for people, because you have to heal the big key pieces on why EBV was able to build up in someone's life in the first place. And often it's kind of those unresolved stress responses. It's like we've got to take more responsibility for what we're creating in our life. So sometimes when I talk to people as they're coming into my program and I kind of say, okay, do you know when, you know, even when you had a flare up or these things and what was going on at the time in your life? And I will often have people say, oh, I know what happened at this point in my life and it just got out of control for me. Okay, go and look at that time in your life and do some work around healing that time in your life, because it's like EBV will hold that energetic memory and charge associated with that. You've got to heal that trauma and that from the past and those stress responses to almost help calm down the central nervous system, to give it more resources or space to be able to re-regulate, because it's this here that controls everything else. Don't get me wrong, I want people to be doing diet and looking at things like that. I want people to be supporting themselves on other levels, but unfortunately it's not enough. It's really not enough. Like the way that I heal somebody, it is so involved, because there are so many, like, we are multi-dimensional beings. You know, everything is energy, whether you realize that or not. Everything's made up of atoms. Atoms are 99.9999 free space. Everything has like an energetic coding. A liver functions at a certain vibration, a heart, a different one. All of these things have this vibrational resonance. When things are out of balance and not in that right vibrational state, there's disharmony, there's ill health, there's all of these things. So it's kind of seeing myself as more than just this physical. And even healing is like a multi kind of dimensional or multifaceted approach. So if you go back to that mini course, yes, tools and tips. Hey, if you want to do your diet, if you're doing a detox, great. You'd have to be looking at reducing mercury because EBV attaches to mercury. You'd also have to use a binder because your body doesn't have the capabilities to get it out the pathways it needs to. Lymphatic system is a fabulous kind of place to start. It's all the little things that you incorporate, and then maybe start to get curious about, you know, that connection. Like the way that I heal people, the longing, the disconnection is always a representation of this higher disconnection to self. It's all we're ever searching for. And it's really that I do. Like I would love to sell the program that I've created as, you know, the highest transformational spiritual healing program a person could do. But again, I am obviously and to do that, I have to reduce and heal EBV for somebody, to have them, you know, elevate themselves, expand their consciousness, transform their life, step into this kind of higher platform. You know, EBV, it's just so much more than just a virus. It's symbolic of mankind, of the dysfunction, of all of these things. But I would be looking at some of these key things in my life, maybe when EBV kind of really showed up for me. You know, get curious about your life, start looking at these things. Some people don't even kind of, they can't even kind of piece back together or even see some of the similarities, or, you know, even emotions. A lot of people get scared by big emotions and they want to just push them away. They have their place. They're kind of telling you information if you have the tools to tune in and listen.